Coach, how are you?
Doing well, man. Just finished up the practice. Fired up to be here with you boys.
All right, so let's get right into things. First question, we'll take it way back. At such a young age, what drew you to lacrosse for the first time?
I think it was second grade. I honestly don't remember what drew me to it. I don't remember the actual experience, but I remember being in second grade, picking it up and playing some PA lacrosse down in Baldwin. I'm from Baldwin on the South Shore. So really just started playing, and I fell in love with the sport and loved it. And ever since then, the stick has been in my hand, and I've been playing. So
now, you played collegiate lacrosse at the Division I level at SUNY Albany. After your 4 years as a Great Dane came to an end, did you know right away that you wanted to pursue a career in coaching?
I really had no idea. I was kind of a knucklehead coming out of high school. I didn't know what I wanted to do. And then senior year, I remember being in the weight room. I can't say that I was working all that hard in the weight room, but I remember being in the weight room and my coach was walking around asking guys, what they were thinking about doing. And something just said to me that I was thinking about getting into coaching, or I wanted to stick around the game, not really sure. And then my coach, Coach Moore, suggested sticking around the summer, helping him out in the office. So I did that, kind of finishing up some credits with him. And by the end, I guess a month and a half, maybe 2 months in, he asked me if I wanted to stick around and stay for the next year. And then he left, and I was like, does that mean I have a job? Like, he just kind of walked out. And then the next day he told me he was going to create a position for me, which is Director of Operations, which is essentially an internship in coaching. So I did that for a year, which was challenging for sure because I was still, really good friends with a lot of the guys on the team. So kind of establishing that line was a challenge for sure. But then a year after that, I moved on to Siena as an assistant coach, 3 years there, and then 4 years back at Albany, 2 years at Harvard, and got the gig here.
And you mentioned, most recently, you held the position of offensive coordinator for the men's lacrosse team at Harvard University. What has that transition been like, going from the Ivy League to a head coaching job here in the East Coast Conference of Division II?
Really, responsibilities. You got a lot more on your plate as a head coach, and at the end of the day, your name's on the door, so everything falls on you. So it is the responsibility that comes with the job. When I'm an assistant coach, I'm really focusing on certainly my relationships with the players, but more so just the offensive side of the ball. Now you're planning practices, you're balancing budgets. There's a whole lot more that goes into it than really just focusing on the offense. So for me, I really removed myself from the X's and O's and preparing an offense and gave it to my assistant, who's more than qualified to run an offense, who's done it at the Division I level at Stony Brook for a long time, very successfully, Jimmy Montana. So, and all the faith and confidence in the world and in my guys that I've surrounded myself with. And you got to trust the people that you have around you. So I'm really confident in the guys that I hired, and I believe in them, and I kind of let them do their thing. I'm not really, checking what time they're coming in the office or what time they're leaving. We all have responsibilities, and I trust that they're going to do their job. Now,
moving from your coaching staff to your players, on the field this year for the Pioneers, who should we look out for?
I really don't single out guys. If you come out to watch us play, you're going to know pretty quickly who our guys are. I think we have a lot of talent on both sides of the ball, offensively, defensively, in the net, and at the faceoff X. So as a group, hopefully you just kind of feel us as an entire unit. I've tried to stay away from singling guys out because I know they listen, and I really don't. I try not to play favorites. I love all the guys, and maybe more incentive for the people listening to come out and watch us play and see what we got.
Yeah, fair enough. So what kind of things have you been running during practices to ready the Pioneers for their season opener coming up later this month?
Just tempo, pace. We get in and out in about 2 hours every day. I really believe in efficiency for the team, and I try to make good use of their time. I'm not a believer in 3-hour practices or 3.5-hour practices. Now, we might have them down at the facility. We might do a little bit of film and some meetings. Give them 45 minutes to get their treatment, and then we get out to practice, and we're in and out in 2 hours. So it is pace and tempo, and when you prepare at a really high pace and tempo, it'll prepare you for the game. So if you do have anybody that is playing really aggressive, you see it every day in practice. Now, if you play somebody that plays a little bit slower, you're practicing and preparing at such a higher level and pace that it's going to seem really that much more easier for your guys because you prepare at a high level.
Now, outside of LIU, you also currently hold the position of assistant coach of the Israeli men's national team. First off, how'd you land that position, and what's it like being a part of something so big like that?
I wasn't good enough to play. So, one of my best friends growing up, this kid Adam Crystal, played at Drexel. Drexel was the CAA Defenseman of the Year, and he had told me, I was living in upstate New York, Saratoga Springs, and he told me he was going up to Cortland scrimmage, the Iroquois national team, Siena, and Syracuse. And he told me about Israel lacrosse, and I had no idea what Israel lacrosse was. He said, come up, suit up, and play. I was like, I don't play anymore. Like, I don't even know if I have cleats. So I put something together, and I played fine, but they had pretty much, there had been a bunch of guys who had been with the program for over 2 years at that point. And then they had asked me, they said, listen, we know you coach at Division I level. Or would you be interested in helping us out? I'm like, absolutely. I just want to be a part of it. So we talked over the next couple months, and then eventually, we agreed to kind of team up and be a part of it. So I went over in 2014 on a service trip, and ever since then, I've been with the program, and we're excited for this summer. We're hosting the World Games, which are essentially our Olympics in Israel. So we're going to have over 50 countries there. So it should be pretty wild. We're looking forward to it. A couple guys on our team are playing on some world teams as well.
So I'm Matt Weinstein here with head men's lacrosse coach of the Pioneers, Coach Eric Wolf. Coach, final question. Back in June, our athletic director, Debbie DeJong, named you the 10th head men's lacrosse coach in the history of the program. How does it feel to officially be a Pioneer?
Feels awesome. I'm so excited to be back home on Long Island, having been away since I was 18. I went to the University of Albany, and coaching racket kept me upstate and then into Boston. So I come home for holidays and see my family and stuff like that. But I haven't lived here since I was in high school, so it's been awesome. Got a spot down in Long Beach, right by the water, which is nice. A little bit of a commute coming in, but just kind of listen to books on tape and podcasts on the way in and out, so I get to zone out anyway, which is good. But for me, I'm just super comfortable being on Long Island and being back home, and thrilled to be a part of this institution and the people that we have here at Post.
Coach, thank you so much. Good luck this season. We're happy to have
you. Very welcome.
I'm Matt Weinstein. He's Coach Eric Wolf. And now back to Pioneers at intermission.